Hello, this is a quick review of Olly Richards' StoryLearning Japanese Uncovered Beginner's Level. I'm going to take you through the content and explore what is inside. I'm recording this at the time when there's a great offer on this course. I'll link to that underneath this video, but I'll keep the link updated so if you're watching later on in the future, you'll be able to find the latest offering, the latest access to the course. Now, this course is based on a story. There are 10 chapters, 10 units. The golden thread running through is that you follow the story. So after some introductory videos, Olly, the tutor, introduces himself. He is himself a fluent Japanese speaker, and he's working here with the lady here who teaches the pronunciation and the writing sections of the course. So this is the first of a number of videos.
Japanese Uncovered へようこそ。
Welcome to Japanese Uncovered.
これから一緒に日本語の学習をするのをとても楽しみにしています。
We are, how excited are we?
Okay, they're excited. So they're introduced. There are some videos on how to navigate the course. And then we get into the 10 chapters. So if I move myself over here, you can see if we go into, let's say, chapter 2, meeting new friends. There's an introductory explanation, and then you are basically straight into the story. So that is the first part, an illustration there, and then you listen first of all to the recording.
第2章、アレックスは受付に行きます。すみません。アレックスは言います。
So it is narrated by the native speaker. It isn't a dialogue recorded with different actors. One speaker narrating the story. The idea being that you try to follow along. There's a slow audio version there as well. And then once you've listened a number of times, then you would read the story. And first of all, you read it in the Latin transcription called Romaji of the Japanese. The writing is dealt with in a separate part of each chapter. So you would listen and read, the idea being that the patterns of the language subconsciously sort of imprints itself on your memory and helps you to learn that way. There's also an English translation here, again, another downloadable PDF, so that you can start to decipher for yourself what the language might mean before you get on to the more formal and quite traditional lecture-based approach which you have in each unit as well. So after the listening and the reading, you then have 4 or 5 additional units in each chapter, many of which are video, between 2 and usually about 8 or 10 minutes, although these two in this chapter are actually a bit longer. So the vocabulary one here I see is 20 minutes. Let's look at that lesson.
Closer look at them. So first of all,
this is greetings. We can jump ahead.
Ohisashiburi desu, or just ohisashiburi.
What Olly is doing here is pulling out content from the story so that you're already familiar with that content a little bit and riffing on it, explaining it for you. And it's the same in the grammar section, which is here. So another video. You can change the speed of the
in this
videos.
video, we're going to continue that and look at some more
to
particles that you're going to be
double
using.
speed, 1.25, 1.5. You can jump ahead, forward 10, back 10, and so on. Underneath, there are interactive quizzes for the grammar and vocabulary sections. Whoops, I got that wrong. So there's your interactive quizzes. And then you're into the pronunciation section, taught again by the other teacher, the native teacher.
こんにちは。発音のビデオへようこそ。
One of the shorter videos. And then there's also a script learning section in each of the 10 chapters. And that works methodically through the different writing systems, beginning with the hiragana syllabary, which is the first one, which is taught to children when they're learning the language. You have worksheets here which you can download to practice. There's a video of watching somebody actually do the writing as well, which is rather nice. And there's also a culture section in each unit. Let's move to chapter 4 and let's see what the culture is that's covered there. Bit of background. This is about greetings, okay, bowing and so on, exchanging business cards there. One I saw earlier on when I was looking through about the manga cartoons, various ones about history as well in there. The speaking activities, which are ideas then in each chapter, prompts topics you could discuss around what's been taught in that chapter. There isn't actually a live speaking element in this course, but there are links to enable you to find a teacher through an independent platform. There's also an upgrade that you can do, which is plugged in each section. There, if we click on here, which is called VIP, where you do get more hand holding and there is more teacher support there. So you could at any point join that if you wanted to. What I also wanted to show you was the chapter review. So this is in chapter 7. You have the audio again, and there's a comprehension quiz, which is quite good. Sort of gamified checking. In the additional resources section in each chapter, what you have, as well as the audio again, are different versions of the chapter in PDF form. First of all, you have just the kana, so the Japanese syllabary is used. Remember, in the beginning of each chapter, we are using the Romaji, the Latin script system. So this is using the phonetic syllabaries, which is the way that children first learn to read. Then there's a proper adult, as it were, version, in the sense that this is a mixture of the Chinese characters and the Japanese kana, which is how you write Japanese, of course. And then finally there's another PDF which is the same thing, so full-on Japanese written using the Chinese characters and the Japanese syllabaries, but also with the syllabaries used, the hiragana, above the Chinese characters to help with pronunciation, which is something that you see quite often above place names in Japan, but also for children, school children who are learning to read the language, to help them if they don't yet know how the Chinese character is pronounced. So that's what that is. So there are various levels of difficulty depending on whether you're going to learn all the writing systems or just the syllabaries to start with. You can choose your own approach. So that's it. That's what we've got in 10 chapters of this course. The next level is another 10, so the upper beginner, same at intermediate level. So there's a lot of material in these courses. So there we are. That's my quick review of Japanese Uncovered. Who is it for then? Well, it's for you if you want to be drawn into a story, to learn using quite a brain-savvy method and absorb the language before you start working more consciously with it. Now, that by definition means, of course, you've got to be comfortable with some ambiguity as you begin each chapter and not get freaked or panicked by the fact you won't understand everything, at least initially. There is explicit instruction in here, quite traditional video instruction, with the quizzes as well, so it's quite interactive. There's very full coverage, there's excellent support in the private community. You get lifetime access. It's quite an expensive upfront course, but there are no ongoing fees, and of course if you compare the cost against the cost of a teacher, then it doesn't look so pricey. But if you're not into self-study and reading, of course, then this might not be the course for you. There's a lot of material, so pacing yourself is important. A nice thing about it, though, is that if you do that, then you can follow through and move on to the next levels if you want to get those later on. So the pathway to proficiency in the language, providing you get additional speaking practice arranged, which would cost you more additionally, of course, and StoryLearning can arrange that for you. As I said, the links are in the course to the VIP upgrade and to the teacher platform. Then you have really a lot of what you need on to tool yourself up for fluency in Japanese. So there we are. What do you think? Do you have any questions? Let me know down below if so. And as I say, I will link to the current offer on this course as well underneath the video. See you soon. Mata ne!